السلام عليكم. كيف حالكم؟
الحمد لله بخير ما شاء الله.
لا بأس الحمد لله رب العالمين. Ça va?
La مشكلة.
La مشكلة? Ça va bien?
Ça va très bien.
Je veux café. Un café. Un café tout bas.
Café, ok.
Où est un café tout bas?
Le café, ok. Je l'ai
No,
pas.
no, no, no. Don't worry about it. Okay. Alhamdulillah, today we're going to have a smashing lesson. From now on, we're going to be doing is having conversation. Conversation in Arabic. I have this book here. It costs $8. I would like everybody, if you can get it. I don't know where to get it. But, you know, it's called Lughatul Muslim. Somebody could try to find out where you can get this book from. You should know where to get this book. You bought yours in Egypt. You have it though, right? Yeah, and it has the pink books with it?
No, this week.
Because, okay, well, there's a second volume, this one over here. But I only need you to get one. It's $8, I know that much. By the end, it's this one right here. This is the second one right here. You can check it out. But what I'll do is I'll text, when we get a break, I'll text the guy, and I'll make sure y'all get you the address to get this book, okay? Now, I want everybody to get this book, okay? That way we're all working through the same book. What is this book about? This book is about al-insha'u. What is it called? Insha'u. Insha'u is like composition writing. It teaches you how to describe things. And the way you learn this in Arabic is you talk about, like, I went to a train station. Now, how would you describe a train station in English? You say, well, the train station is an open place, right? It has arching and high ceilings. Usually has a huge clock up there. There are booths where you can get with titles over them telling you which direction is the train or its ultimate station. There are people in there telling you where you can buy the tickets. Then you go through another corridor, and then there are tracks down there, right? And you can wait, and there's usually a wooden bench. You have wooden benches and lots of toilets, you know, in there because sometimes it gets crowded. Right? They have extensive waiting area. Now, how would you say that in Arabic? You get my point? Now, the way you learn to say that in Arabic is through books like this. You read, and as you read it, it describes. It takes you through different circumstances and situations. And you read as the person describes. And it sets a platform for you, or a template, I should say, a template for you to put yourself in. And then you add and take away. Does that make sense, guys?
No.
All right. So let's go through this book. If we go through this, even with just a few weeks, what I do with books like this, and I use books like this, you know, even in Arabic, I use them. Okay? But in other languages, when you're learning another language or any other language, these books become vital and important because you're setting the stage. Don't you notice what do children do? I used to think children babble. At 1 and 2 years old, I thought they were just going blah, 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 blah. And I thought they would just have a lot of energy and just babbling away. They're not babbling. That's the wrong, you know, term for it. What are they doing? Anybody know? I figured it out. Yes, sir.
Talking.
They're talking. They're imitating what they hear. They're practicing, actually, the sounds that they hear you say. Je ne sais pas, she'll say pa, 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 je ne sais pas, je ne pas, je, and they keep practicing it every time they hear it. Every time they hear it and every time they think of it, they're recurring those sounds and you have to do that. You have to do that in order to get that particular language. Does that make sense? No. But what we find people doing is like, Ismi Abu Toba? They say it like a question. Why are they saying it like a question?
Sure.
They're not sure. Sorry? They're not sure about that I was correct in saying it. That's all I had to say. Is that understood? You get my point? And so what happens through practicing with a teacher, then they build their confidence and say, that's all I have to, hey, I'm sorry, Ismi Abu Talib Mukhlis. And I can say that there's nothing more to it. Oh, I know the sounds. Aren't their sounds foreign? No. Most of the sounds in Arabic are not foreign. Maybe you say kha, that's a foreign letter, but not even lad. We used to think that lad was a foreign letter, but it's not. We use it in English for dummy. Okay? Seriously, it's the same letter. Okay? It's same dog. That dog sound. Any word where you see a D and a U and you make the sound, that's a dog. Huh? Dump. Yeah, a dump. You know, any of those words like that. Unless you do, that's not a dog. So what are the foreign languages? What are the foreign languages? A, ba, ta, tha, jim, ha, ha. Now there's two H's in English, but we don't write them as two H's. What do we write them as? Just one H. But we say hot. Say hot.
Hot.
Say jalapeno.
Jalapeno.
Now say ha ha ha.
Ha, ha, ha.
That's another one, isn't it? Now say heavy.
Heavy.
Health.
Health.
Heart.
Heart.
Hurts a hurdle that we see with ha, the first in history. Hurts a hurdle that we see with ha, the first in
History.
See, that's all of those, that other type of ha, right? You know I made a poem about it.
Yeah.
It's actually the fifth in history. It's from the throat, the deepest part. We feel it most around the heart. Okay? So that's the word. Then we have jalapeno, right?
Jalapeno.
But in English we write one H, but in Arabic we have two. Ha, jim, kha, del, vel. We have vel. Some people think we don't have vel. And they think, oh, it's a foreign letter. No. Your mother, father, sister, brother, this, that, the other, right? It's the same sound. It's no different than that. But it shouldn't be written TH because we have thing, author, and mouth. That in the beginning, author in the middle, mouth at the end. So we have the same sounds. You guys follow me? Del, vel, ra, zad, sin, sheen, sog, sog. We have this word, I saw you. I'm sawing it in half. Summer. This is sog. This is not seen. It's a different sound. Okay? The same rule as a D. If it's an SU and it's not an USU, then it's a sog. You guys follow me?
No.
So how many letters are foreign? Very few. Sin, sheen, sog, blah, blah. Blah. We can say blah is a foreign letter. The. Maybe the. We have maybe the, and kha. Okay? Ain. That's another one. Ain. Rain is not a foreign language. We have a gargle. Gargantua. Ga. Right? Goat. It's just right there. Ain, rain. Fa, qaf, kaf, lam, mim, nun, ha, wa, ya. All those are in English. 5 letters, right?
No.
So then there shouldn't be this strain to make the letters. Say them the way you say them now. That's what the point is. And you can be, and we'll work with those 5. So there has to be this realization. Okay? A realization that is not as difficult as people think it is. Next, practice makes improvement. Not to make perfect, but practice makes improvement. The lack of practice doesn't change anything. People think that something changed because the date changed. If I hold on long enough, something will change. That's the Western idea. If I just sit in class and close my eyes and don't raise my hand and say too much, I'll pass. You may in the Catholic school, but in Islamic school, you got to get a 90 plus. Okay? And that takes performance. That takes practice. Fahmeen?
No.
Ay, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. So let's get started. The first sentence in here, look, the way it's broken down is sentences. It's conversation. One person, two person. Now I'm redoing this book and you're going to help me redo this book. Why do we need to redo the book? Because it's everything, see, sadly, we've been always taking everybody else's hand-me-downs. Okay? Again, aid. I always say, when you always get an aid, you don't get clothes that fit you, you get the one that closest fits you. Right? Ain't so bad. You don't know what it means to get clothes tailored fit for you. You don't understand how much comfortable that is. You guys follow me?
No.
So we read these books and it doesn't reflect our reality. But it's all we got. I remember going to school and we had to learn despite the teacher. Despite how old and decrepit the book was, right? You ever get those books in school and it has put your name here and ain't no more space? All our books said that, right? Well, no more space for nobody else's name. They put a little plastic thing on top of it, so your admin, that was filled up. You be looking, where was this book made, man? So we need to redo these books so they can reflect language and details that we can relate to. First of all, the name starts off with Arif and Hamid. Anybody here named Arif? Anybody here named Hamid? You know anybody named Arif and Hamid from the hood?
No. No.
Nah, I don't know nobody. I know Arif.
Adam?
Arif?
Oh, Adam. I thought you said Adam.
No, not Arif. I said Arif.
Adam.
Arif. Yeah, في مصر
No.
في مصر أنا أقصد في Brooklyn يعني أنا لا أعرفه. I know Hamid, you know, I know Mikael. I don't know these types of names. So that's important though. It's very important that little detail is there. Okay, I know I always take time and mention stuff about education because education is vital. Okay, I'll tell you something I learned. When we were trying to Islamicize education, the Africans, other people who were educators had problems with lots of little things that I thought, well, I couldn't understand what was the problem was till I listened to this one African educator. She says, I can't stand ABC. Ooh, what you talking about, ABC? A is for apple, don't want to hear that. Why not? What's wrong with A is for apple? Well, I'm from Africa. Apples don't grow there in abundance. So it's an exotic fruit, ain't it? And if A is representative of an exotic fruit and that's your just basic, then what does that say about me? You get, I'm not even in here, right? This education doesn't reflect me. What's education supposed to do? Help you enhance and appreciate your reality, your environment, right? So if apples, I only see them once in a blue moon, and by the time they come from America, they're old and rotten, but I still get them because it's supposed to be good, right? Then I'm going to be taught and have a bad opinion about me because I don't see me. I'll give it to you again. You guys that are my age and older remember Mickey Mouse Club, right?
No.
You ever hear your name on that joint? Never. But every time you was hoping they was going to say your name. If you was watching it, you would say, hopefully, man, say Leroy. Just say anything. Say something that sounds like one of our names. But there was never an Abdullah, never a Mikael. No, there was none of those names. You get my point? You got to see yourself in the education. So A for apple is not a good thing for us unless we grow up in a place that got apples. We need A to represent what A represents in our environment. Does that make sense? No. So we can immediately identify. That's why mothers are the best teachers. The child don't even know why he's separated from the lady yet. You know what I'm saying? Everything she said is the truth. فهمتموني؟
No.
Hey, well, alhamdulillah. And this is our responsibility as an educator. So you understand why I changed the names in this book. Okay? To represent names that we would hear. Okay? That we would want to hear. And be used to. Give me some names.
Bilal.
Bilal? I wouldn't use it because they always think it's a black person. It's Bilal. No, seriously. Because then it's always got to be Bilal. Right? Nah, I wouldn't. That's like Leroy.
Jamal.
Jamal. We always say there's always a Jamal in our hood, right? Aisha. Right? You know, Fatima. You know, I'm teasing. It's Fatima. But we know they say Fatima. You know? Ain't no thing. It's how they say it in our culture. We can do that. It's from Fatima. So then let's do it like this. We're going to have Jamal. Give me that. Give me another guy's name, because we're starting with guys. I said Jamal.
Tariq.
Tariq. We got Tariqs? Because they say Tariq in the hood. Muhammad is a popular name, but I want something outside of the obvious. Umar.
Yeah.
We have Umar. Okay, so Jamal says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Go ahead.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
No. You say Jamal's part, and then we're going to do both parts, okay? All right? So you say Jamal, pause, and then recite it, because it's like a play. Okay, so everybody's playing the part of Jamal, and everybody's playing the part of Umar. Okay? Jamal. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jamal. Wa alaikum salam.
No, guys, let me do it again.
Jamal, salamu alaikum.
Right. You say Jamal. Everybody say Jamal.
Jamal.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum
Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Umar.
Umar.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jamal.
Jamal.
Ismi Jamal.
Ismi Jamal.
وأنت يا أخي ما اسمك؟
Wa
anta ya akhi
masmuk.
You see, this is similar to what I taught you, right?
Naam.
وأنت يا أخي
Wa anta ya akhi
ما اسمك؟
masmuk.
Now, did you know you can call your lady أخي? Why not? It has to be أختي.
Ukhti?
When we say Muslimun, are we excluding the ladies?
No.
Why? We said Muslimun, that's masculine.
Yeah, but it covers everybody.
Oh, so the masculine covers the feminine, right?
Yes.
So then why can't you call him أخي?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay then. You guys follow me?
Yeah.
You shouldn't make it your habit. You know? but it's something we already understood, and I'm just making a point of it. You know, because one time I was talking to my wife, I said, yeah, akhi. And she said, akhi. I said, yeah, you can say akhi. That's akhi. You know? Because it just means we're cut from the same piece of wood.
No.
You know what I'm saying? We're all from the same piece of wood. Everybody get that?
No.
Nah, okay. So it doesn't disrespect him. Hold on, says Allah tell Adam, ya Adam uskun anta wa zawjuka. Did he say zawjatuka?
Right.
He said zawjuka. فهمت؟
Naam.
Ay, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Naam,
Even in Egypt they say نحن اخوات.
ikhwat. Nah, we're brothers. For the men, ikhwat. Nah, we're brothers. It's a brotherhood. You know, like that. Alhamdulillah. And it's using the feminine for the jam. Okay? Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. So he says here, Ismi Umar.
Ismi Umar.
Jamal.
Jamal.
هل أنت طالب?
Hal anta talib?
Now we can say أنت طالب. أنت طالب. Because whenever you hear the word immediately think it's a question. Okay? It's a question. ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين. Right? أرأيت. Right? ألم تر. You get my point? So whenever you think of don't think anything but it's a question. What type of question? A question. Hey, you girls, get from back there. You guys are not like so good in Arabic that you don't need a class. Come sit down over here. And don't come out here and then be quiet. Come out here and open your mouths and recite. And say what we're saying. Whenever you think of say in your mind, this is a question. Okay? That's what you want to say. You don't want to worry about it's the type of question that can only be answered with a yes or a no. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay. Understand? Same thing with a hal. Hal is a question. Now in English, is indicative of a question like is, am, are, or did. When it comes in the beginning of a word. I mean, the beginning of a statement. Does that make sense?
No.
For example, I am Abu Tawbah. I am Abu Tawbah?
No.
You get the point? You see how I turned it into a question? I am Abu Tawbah is standing. Abu Tawbah standing?
No.
هل فهمتموني?
No.
Hey, alhamdulillah. That's how you can understand it. This is my glasses. This my glasses? Fahimeen?
No.
What do you mean no? You want to get punched at 3 o'clock? Now, so he says, هل أنت طالب?
Hal anta talib?
And so Jamal says, نعم أنا طالب. وأنت?
Naam. Ana talib. Wa ant?
Remember, body language is everything. I remember my teachers always saying, look, move that body. Move that body. Okay? Gina Longo Abu Toba. What did I say?
You know?
I said, I'm at... Huh?
You said, am I Abu Talib?
No, I said, Gina Longo Abu Toba.
أنا
I said, I'm Abu Talib. Did you guys understand that?
No.
Even though you didn't know the language that I'm speaking, what made you know that I said that this I'm Abu Talib? That body language, you see? So even though I said it in Swahili, okay? But my body language lets you know that that's what it means. So you see the importance of body language, right?
No. No.
Ana kadhalik. What does he say? I'm sorry. Omar says, Ana kadhalik talibun.
أنا كذلك طالب.
Now he said, Ana kadhalik talib.
أنا كذلك طالب.
Now what does kadhalik mean? Don't say a word.
أيضا.
I'll show you kadhalik. Okay?
أيضا.
Deen is sitting down. Kadhalik, Abdul Alim is sitting down.
أيضا.
No, don't say ayda. Just understand it. Does that make sense?
نعم.
Rashad is sitting down. Kadhalik, Harun is sitting down. Does everybody follow me? So we understand the concept of kadhalik. Mafhum?
نعم أحسن.
Ana talib, ana kadhalik talib.
أنا كذلك طالب.
Ana kadhalik talib.
أنا كذلك طالب.
Ana kadhalik talib.
أنا كذلك طالب.
So he says to him, now here they have a sentence. I'm crossing the sentence out because we don't talk like that. Now here, I'll tell you what it says. It says, Aina baytuka ya akhi. Say that.
أين بيتك يا أخي?
What does that mean?
Where's your house, my brother?
Now, do we ask people for their address when we first met them?
No.
To us, that's, yeah, you laughed, right? To us, that's Aid.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, you know,
Gharib.
Aid. Nah,
Right?
Gharib. You ask me for my house phone. Yo, who you? Police?
Yeah.
That's right. You FBI? Yo. Nah, I don't know you like that, right? That's too much. That's intrusive in our language. So we have to understand that we're talking, so we have to speak in a way that we talk. It's general for us to say, Aina taskun, where you live. And meaning with that, in general. Aina taskun, like where you from. You get my point?
No.
أنتم تفهمونني؟ أين تسكن? Say أسكن في Greensboro. أسكن في North Carolina. You can say am. Okay? When you always start off with the am, with the general, in speaking in Arabic. Because, you know, you have to have your security thing. So you would say, أسكن في North Carolina. That's what I'm advising you. أين تسكن?
أنا أسكن.
No, just say the question.
Ain't it in school?
No, say it like a question.
Ain't it in school?
That's what I practice doing. Whenever I learn, first thing I do is I learn the pronunciation of the sentence, the phrase. Okay? I say, you know, Aina teskun. Then I realize it's a question, then I practice saying it like a question. Aina teskun, how do I sound saying that? How would I like to sound saying that? What's it for me? I own it. That's what makes somebody fluent. You own it in your own style, on your own personality. Aina teskun.
Ain't it in school?
Like I said, you can get with hada or you can get with dhalik. You know, you say these things in the way that you're going to say them. Your own rhythm. Don't we speak English different from the Brits?
No.
So our Arabic doesn't have to sound like somebody else's as long as it conforms with the rhythm of the speech and the way speech is supposed to be broken down. But it's going to have our inflections and our culture mixed into that. Does that make sense?
No.
Own that then. And understand that just like did you know the United States has its own, and when it comes about the Spanish-speaking world, that the United States has its own Spanish, like, section in the world that's considered North American Spanish, different from Mexican Spanish? No. Do you guys understand why? No, nobody does?
Sort of.
Because we got more Spanish speakers here than Spain. Okay? Quadruple the number of Spanish speakers in here than Spain. All right? And because the Spanish speakers here in the United States come from all over the world. So all the different things that you wouldn't hear in Colombia, or you wouldn't hear in Spain, or you wouldn't hear in Mexico, you hear mixed together here. Does that make sense?
No.
Because the Puerto Rican man's a Cuban and normally they don't talk. the same type of language. Or they mix together at work and they pick up each other's styles and it mixes and it becomes a different type of Spanish we call North American Spanish. And it has its own rules of engagements and everything like that. Likewise, English beat it to it and has its own American English, right? Because it's different from the British English. And likewise, once Arabic becomes more native amongst the people, it's going to have its own North American Arabic. You follow me? No. And we all play a role in that. That's why I never had a problem talking to the Arab from no place, but they act like they can't understand each other, right? No. Oh, you're talking, Maghribi, and I don't understand it. But if you talk Fusha, you understand them all. Because I never put up a bridge there. I never put up a wall to stop me from speaking that. You get my point, guys? No. Don't you do the same thing. Be open to express it in Arabic, but the way we do. Okay? So we say, Aina taskun?
Aina taskun?
Askunu fi North Carolina.
Askunu fi North Carolina.
Now the word sakina or askunu means where you stop moving, where you rest. The word sakina comes from the word sakina, right? Sakina is tranquility. A letter, when you write it on a board and it doesn't have any haraka, we say Saki. Now this one has a sakun on it, right? Sakina. Say it.
Sakina.
So this sakina, we say this letter is here, but it doesn't have any haraka on it. So it's tranquil, right? You can't rest someplace where you don't find no tranquility, unless you got a weird marriage. You get my point? No. But he's supposed to find tranquility in that place, right? He's supposed to stop moving. Sakin. All right? Calm down. Back in Turkish, sakinu is calm down. Sakin.
It's like an ayah, askinuhunna.
Askinuhunna. Make them reside, but see that, let them rest and reside. But there's no, when we say it's sakin, that's where we can find you, because when you stop moving. Hal fahamtumuni? Fahimin? Hey, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. So you start saying, Askunu fi North Carolina.
Askunu fi North Carolina.
Now, you see how we kept it general? Now, if you're talking to somebody outside of the United States, you wouldn't say North Carolina, because most people don't know North Carolina. Okay? When you talk to people in Egypt, Sheikh, did most people know where North Carolina was? Not a clue. And don't feel bad, North Carolina is a big place here, but the United States is really, really small. It just looks big on the map because of visual racism. You know what I'm saying? Because they make it so huge. But in reality, it's a kind of small spot, in comparison to the globe in and of itself. So it's okay. You don't know all the places in France, do you? Name 5 cities in France.
Paris.
There you go.
Nice.
You can name some because you speak French. Parlez-vous français? Alhamdulillah. But most people don't speak French. They're not going to know, places in France. Or even care. So they want to know, do you live fi Paris or kharij al-Paris? You get my point? You live inside Paris or you live outside of Paris? قريب منها أو بعيد في شمالها أو في جنوب. You get my point? So that's how you say, what places do people know in the United States? New York. City's so nice they had to name it twice, right? And then they know Chicago. And they know Los Angeles or California. Right? They pretty much don't know. They know Disneyland sometimes, They say, well, Disney. They know that type of thing. And they know Washington, D.C. So we're close to Washington, D.C. So when you say, Askunu kharij al Washington, D.C. You don't have to say Washington. You can say Washington, D.C., baby. You know what I'm saying? Because it's your language. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to change the way you pronounce your saying. Askunu kharij al Washington, D.C. Qaribun minha. Qaribun minha. We're close to D.C., right? It's not even a full day trip. We can swoop up there, right? But no, seriously, people, you drive. You know how you drive. One minute you're here, I turn around, you're in Atlanta. Okay? So I wouldn't be surprised if I saw you here and then I was getting lunch in D.C. and I see you getting lunch at the same spot. Because people travel like that. So when you describe it, and this is not lying, but this is talking, the Prophet said, speak to people at the extent of their intellect. Okay? Like when they call it throw a ball that people can catch, right? So you don't have to try, like you sit there, you're struggling, you're learning Arabic, and you try to explain where North Carolina is. Waste of time. Keep it simple. So, Askunu kharij al Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C.
هكذا تقول Kharij means like that place that you go out. But we call it in English, it's called garage. Okay? But in Arabic we call it kharaj. It's the same thing. What is it called, a kharaj? Because that's where you usually get into your vehicle. وَتَخْرُجُ مِنْهَا. Right? Anha. So it became the name kharaj. And because of bad English, instead of kharaj, they called it a garage. You find the wording?
No.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. There are a lot of English words that are hidden in a lot of Arabic words hidden in English culture. Like the word ayah is in the English language, but we just don't pay attention to it. From the meaning of an ayah is like the smallest thing about it, right? Like so and so whole house was wrecked. There's not even one ayah left, right? You guys remember that? One ayah means one sign. And what do we say in English? We say not even one iota. That's right. It's from the word ayah. Now one iota of anything, one ayatin. So if you butcher the pronunciation of ayatin, you get iota. Hal fahimtumuni? Fahim? Okay. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So if we learn these things and pay attention to them, it also increases the izzah and the dignity that we have for our thing here. And realize who stole what. You get my point?
Yep.
Now, put your hand down. I ain't answering no questions. Now go ahead. What's your question, young lady? Yes? Not wise. Oh, mashallah. Barakallah fikum. Mashallah. I'm glad we listened to your statement. Mashallah. Jazakumullah khair. Mashallah. Okay, now, we at this point we say, Anaskunu Kharij, meaning outside of Washington, D.C., a known place where people know. Because people are going to say, okay, Al-Faham. And they might ask you further, the next question, Anta Taskun, Hal Taskunu fi Washington, D.C.? That's normally going to be the next question.
La.
You get my point? La. Askunu ta'kid. Askunu kharij Washington DC. Lakinni qaribun minha.
No.
You say, and that leaves it on. Lakinni
Lakini.
qaribun minha. We're close to it. And closeness and nearness is what do you call it? Something, what's the word I'm looking for?
Imagination.
Yeah, it's
Your own perspective.
Yeah, it's perspective, okay? It's perspective with regards to another known place. You get my point, guys?
No.
Hey, well, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Okay, now. Was that you?
Not wise.
MashaAllah. Okay, now. No, you ain't come here to watch nothing. But me, Jack. Well, I'll see you at 3. Told you.
Was it 6 o'clock? Is it 3 a.m.?
Yeah, but that's an old saying. Ask your father, you know what it is.
5.
Alhamdulillah. Let me see you when school guard runs away. Okay, now it says Hasanan. Sanaltaqi fima ba'd. Say Hasanan.
Hasanan.
Sanaltaqi fima ba'd. And here I want to talk about something. When you learn another language, you also learn another culture. I talk about body language a lot. I get on you guys about body language probably more than I get on you about anything else besides maybe some pronunciation. And I really don't harp on the pronunciation because it comes through listening and practicing. Okay? But I harp on the body language because you have to transform into whatever you're going to be talking. When I talk French, I shrug my shoulders like a French person. I don't go like this. Why? Because you
Get the vibe.
you have to get into
Yes.
that,
Yes.
and it's not fake. The language and the culture demands it.
That's right.
Does that make sense?
No.
So I want you all to understand that because statements like Hasanan, these come to mind like quickly. We don't say Hasanan when we come to Islam a lot, right? It's something an Arab might say, but not a Muslim who learned Arabic. Instead of something like Hasanan, we get in the habit of saying Alhamdulillah, MashaAllah. You see, those are our statements of isti'jab, amazement. You understand?
No.
So I don't teach you to practice Hasanan. No. Not as a statement of surprise. First we say, MashaAllah, Tabarakallah, MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah, SubhanAllah. Those statements, keep them. Keep them in the place of these. That's why I said we have to modify the book. When you guys get yours, we're going to be crossing out them, and then you guys retype it out and print it out. And we have our own book that expresses our understanding, our North American Arabic. هل فهمتمون؟ فاهمين? Like we say فاهمين instead of نامين فاهمين. No, it's the same thing. فاهمين. Hey, listen, young man, I told you ain't going to try to be slick. You sitting right in front of me. Stay seated, Jack. You ain't got nowhere to sit in the chair. Ooh. Listen, change seats with the man behind you.
Every time you say splits up, what's that?
Good. My son thinks he's slick. He be looking, I mean, he'll look right at me, and he doesn't think I'm looking, he'd be like, and I'm like, yo, and I see him looking at me like, you good, Dean?
No, we good.
Why you doing that?
Right here, right here.
Tell me when I can go.
You over there. And the camera there up there.
You probably like old. Stop it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but last time
You put glue on that thing, it's supposed to spin in there.
I'm about to use it when I finish.
I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna fix this. That shit hoe. That shit hoe. You ready, shit?
Ready?
No.
So now, instead of saying hasanan, I say alhamdulillah, mashallah, whatever comes to mind, whichever one, which one, say, think right now, say something good. Alhamdulillah. You get my point? So whatever it is, because those things have to come natural. And what we want to come natural as a statement of isti'jab is the praise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, the kafir, when he gets surprised, he curses, right? That's what comes to mind. That's his default. Our default, we're not learning Arabic for the sake of Arabic. We're learning Arabic to enhance our Islam. Okay? So all of our learning and training has to reflect around the objective. Fahimeen? Okay, so now this next bit of sentences is this. Oh man, okay, I knew that was going to be the case. Here, the next bit is naltaqi. Say naltaqi.
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 Naltaqi. Naltaqi.
Fima. Ba'd. Okay? That's what you hear. Now, there's a bunch of things that you have to understand here. You can say fima ba'd by itself. Say fima ba'd.
Fima ba'd.
You can also say ba'dain.
Ba'dain.
Something.
And you can say wa ba'd. Now, there's a difference here. Let's go through all these because these are going to have different connotations. Okay? The first one, naltaqi.
Naltaqi.
I'm going to show you what naltaqi means. You make like you're walking down the street. Hey, assalamu alaikum. كيف حالكم؟
Alhamdulillah.
لا بأس الحمد لله. أراكم فيما بعد. You see what happened here? That لقيته. You get it? I لقيته. لقينا. You guys understand me?
Nah.
We didn't plan. But نلتقي في الشارع. He was walking, I was walking. Then I لقيته هو لقاني. You understand the use of the language? لقاني عندما كنت ماشيا في الشارع. We لقى بعضنا بعض. We came together and had that liqa. that happening, we call that al-liqa. You get my point? But if we did it, we say naltaqi. That's for the future. Because the na means we. And see, the we came before the rest of the verb, so that's before the action, right? If the we came after it, laqayna, then it's past the verb, right? So that way past the tense, and this is before the tense. So get my point? So naltaqi says, we will have a liqa later on, fi ma ba'd, in that which happens afterwards, right? Which basically means in English, see you later. We'll meet up later, see you later. You get my point? Now, sorry? Somebody said something? Okay. Some people say, ila liqa. Ila liqa. Until I see you, till we have another liqa. You get my point? Till we see again, till we meet again. Fahmeen? Or we drop that. You don't even say that, but it's implied. And they'll just say, Fima ba'd. Okay, Fima ba'd. Like in a minute. You just say after whatever happens. So the implication, you say you mean in the same thing. Say, or you'll say ba'dain. What does ba'dain mean, literally? Now?
Later.
He said later on. It doesn't mean that. It does mean that and it doesn't mean that. Ba'ad means afterwards, right? Ba'dain twice.
Right.
Afterwards, right?
No.
So what? Yes, ma'am.
How about like ba'id as in far?
Aha! If you say ba'adina anni, you're right. In old Arabic poetry, ba'adina means far, far away. Okay? You bu'dan, far, ba'dain. All right? Far away from it. Get out of here. You get my point? That's why I said we have to talk about it. Because it has different contexts, depending on how you mean it. Ba'dain also means, now what? If I say, I told you, said, look, man, we're going to go get some food for our wives at this famous restaurant here in what is this city called? Charlotte, Queen Charlotte, okay? You know the spot? He says, yeah, I know the spot. Man, okay, let's go. Let me leave my phone here. Look, your phone is kind of low on batteries. Won't you take the charger? Now I got it. He tells me, right? I got it. Then we get out there, and he don't know the way, right? And the phone dries up, drown. And I turn around and look and say, ba'dain. And I get it, ba'dain. What now? You know what I'm saying? You guys follow me?
Nah.
So that's another way you could use. You don't mind me. So ba'dain is a good thing. It's a get a ba'idaini anni. But they would say instead of ba'dain, they would say ba'idaini. Far away from me. You know what I'm saying? But ba'dain is after he gets finished what he's doing, after I get finished what I'm doing. You get it? After those. See, that's why I say ba'dain.
Okay.
After we both get finished whatever we got to do, what we doing, because we ain't got time, because we busy.
Later.
You get my point?
No.
So after you get done and I get done, then we can hang out. Ba'dain. Sweet, right?
Nah.
See, Arabic is beautiful, man. You thought you was slick coming from home. You know what I'm saying? And then you get to Arabic, you say, man, where does cats get that? And then you say, subhanAllah, where did we get it? When I was hanging out with some Libyans back in the days, and one of them said, Kilma. And then one said, Kilma. I said, no, he didn't. Did he just say word? He said, Kilma, word. And then one said, Kilma. I said, I understand. Yo, I got you. Did you mean by that? Yo, he was asking him, he was telling the truth. He said, Naam, huwa ka'annaka kunt sadid, wa qala hadha sidq. And that's the same way we grew up saying it, right? We just say word. And he says, word.
Word.
So, where did we get that from? How did we get that in our heads? That's DNA. Where the language just comes out in that way, and you say that even in Arabic. Kilma. So, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. So we have this, and then waba'd. Waba'd is like, let's say, the guy made a bad plan or something, like you say, waba'd. You know what I'm saying? Now what? You get it? Waba'd. You get my point? What's going to happen now? Waba'd. Like so you told your son, listen, stay away from the thing that you're going to break the table. And he says, okay, I got it. And he goes right over there, breaks the table, says, waba'd. What you going to do now, right? You going to fix it? What you going to do? Waba'd. هل فهمتموني؟
No.
أيوة اليوم شيخ. Hey, now because the term wabad is a shortened version of amma ba'd. Okay, so amma ba'd is the longer version. Whenever you want to change topics, whenever you want to change a topic, and you don't know how to go segue into another conversation, amma ba'du. Amma ba'du is called fasl al-khitab, meaning it's the way you segue into any other subject. You could be talking about, someone over here, and now you want to talk about politics. You say, amma ba'd, have you seen how about them Yankees, Or you could, whatever you want to change it to. You're having a discussion over dinner, over how well your wife cooked, but now you want to talk about all that money she spent. You say, amma ba'd. And then she said, oh, everything changes. You guys see my point? So, amma ba'd is the long version of it. A shortened version of it is waba'd. Okay? وبعد في القصد بذا المنظوم تزهيل منثور بنا جرومي. You see in the poetry they use it like that too. You get my point? No. So he starts off, alhamdulillah. What does he begin? قال ابن أب واسمه محمد الله في كل الأمور أحمد مصليا على الرسول المنتقى وآله وصحبه ذوي التقى وبعد فالقصد بذا المنظوم تزهيل منثور بنا جرومي. Why? Because the first thing he did was the official introducing who the author is, right? Praising Allah, and then sending the blessings on the Prophet. Waba'd. Now after doing the official introduction, now we're going to start talking about why I really started writing. Al-Ajrumiyya. Now. وبعد فالقصد القصد النية بذا المنظوم, with this poem. تسهيل, to simplify. منثور, the prose of Ibn Jarumi. لمن أراد حفظه وعسر عليه أن يحفظ ما قد نثر. He said, but when it became difficult for him to memorize, عليه أن يحفظ ما قد نثر. It became hard upon him to memorize what was in the prose form. We put it in the nazm form. You get my point? So, but the point is he used waba'du. Okay? So, alhamdulillah, and always after ba'd is a fa. Has to be followed by fa. Some people make a mistake. They say thumma fa. No, that shows that you don't know what you're talking about. When people say that thumma fa, no. There's no way. All the Arabic people are gonna be, oh, this guy is like, it's like saying the and a together. I'm going to get me the a car. You don't say that, AV car, right? Those two don't. It sounds out in the English language when you say that. And if you keep on talking, then we look at you funny. you said it like that's normal. You say, So things like that, people need to actually, sit with a teacher. You get my point? And just work out those little subtle things together. So I wanted to talk about this because sometimes in these books they have something. Remember, the book doesn't talk back. Okay? The book doesn't talk back. So you see some things in there. And this is the people's best thing they want to do. MashaAllah, they did something. May Allah bless them. But what we want to do is flesh it out, and make it happen what's good for us. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, let's take a break right now because that's what ends that particular thing. Oh, no, one more thing. So he says, Alhamdulillah, naltaqi fima ba'd. Alhamdulillah, mashallah, fima ba'd. Alhamdulillah, ba'dain. You know what I'm saying? What ba'd? You get my point? And then they go in. Now the one he responds to him, he says, La tansana. لا تنسانا. Say it. لا تنسانا. لا تنسانا. The asl is لن تنسانا. لن تنسانا. Right, but most of the time we say لا تنسانا. لا تنسانا. من صالح دعائك. من صالح دعائك. من صالح دعائك. دعائك. That becomes a problem for people because we used to saying dua. What do we say? Dua. They say dua, right? I say it in English. I want to hear how you say it. Dua, right? They say dua. Like Doha. You know what I'm saying? No, that's the city. The Marine Corps base. In the Middle East. So they say dua. Dua. It's with an ayn. Dua. Dua. So that's why it's not dua. It's du'aik. Du'aik. Let's come here. So, la, tan, sana, Sana,
Sana,
min,
min,
or fi. You'll hear it either way. Salihi, salihi,
Salihi,
du'aik,
Du'aik,
du'aik. Now I always say fi. La tansana fi salih du'a. I'm gonna teach you the way I'm gonna teach it. Fi salih du'aik. Fi salih du'aik.
في صالح دعائك
Always say fi du'aik.
في دعائك
So la tansana.
La tansana,
What does the word nasa mean? Noon sa. What? Huh? No, no. What does the word nasa mean? No. Nasa. Let's break the root word down.
Nasa.
Noon, sin, alif. What is this word? Nisa. Right? You see this word nisa? If we put a hamza here, it's nisa, right? And at the same time, if we put that in, we put it there, it's nasa. So is nisa and nasa the same thing?
No.
Yes. And no.
the one.
What does nisa refer to?
The one with
Women. What does nisa refer to? Forgetfulness. Are women known for forgetfulness?
No.
Now, listen, one of the miracles of women, one of the miracles and benefits of women is in the name of a thing. Why do we call it an apple tree? Why don't we call it the green leaf tree? Because we benefit from the apple. Women are called nisa. Why? Because we benefit from the fact that they make us forget. When you come home, I say, where ain't teskun? What's the root of sakun? Sakina. What is sakina? Tranquility. Can you relax if all the stuff that you was just thinking about in the street and at your job? No. And that dude you just yelled at when you ran him off the road, Abdul Alim? Right? So she does, it has the quality of making you forget all that so you can relax. Get my point?
No.
While you there. And then, you guys follow me? No. Also, but because that's part of her nature to do, it also happens on her. Wow. And so we sometimes get angry at the women, but we benefit from them forgetting. Or we never be able to get food without salt. Right? And they feed them. Oh, this is because they can poison you. You know, I always think about that. Yo, they don't like you. They always wake up earlier than you, be staying awake before you go to sleep, be looking at you, be like, oh man, I'm hoping I'm good. I'm hoping I'm good, because they would kill you. You know, you wouldn't even know it. Alhamdulillah. So be nice, right? But the point is that they forget things, right? They forget to do things, they forget to do certain types of things, and if it was just my wife, then I could complain. But we find that happens enough that it's general for all women. Even our mother Aisha, when the Prophet was asking about anybody got any complaints about Aisha, let's see. Okay, in the fitna of the ifk. What did her servant girl say about her? Anybody remember? She said, I can't find no fault with Aisha, except that after she starts making the bread, what do you have to leave the bread to do, ladies? Rise. When she needs the bread to rise, she forgets about it. And then the goats come and eat it. You get my point? She don't be paying enough attention. And the goats get to the bread and they start nibbling at it and she run back. Same thing with children. You say, hey, watch your children. I got them. Oh my goodness. You know? Hey, boy, leave that. Your boy tearing up that he just ripped the hole in the back.
It's a zipper.
No, it's a zipper. What you open the zipper for? You know? So you guys get the point? Nisa. Say it?
Nisa.
Okay, so don't complain about your nisa anymore, okay? So now the word is tansana. But people will be saying la tansana. Ten is proper that way, but most times you're going to say la tansana. What does that mean? Don't forget us. Okay? Arabic doesn't have some of those things that English needs. Don't forget about us, right? You would say that. Don't forget to mention us. Now, Arabic don't have to say that. That's what we say, Allahu Akbar. Do we have to say Allahu Akbar min kulli shay'in yati ba'daha? No, we don't have to say that. We just say Allahu Akbar. Right? And whatever put after that is good. You get my point? So لا تنسنا. What do you mean don't forget you? في صالح دعائك. Don't forget us in your dua, in your good righteous dua. In your dua that you ask for good things. Forget about us in the dua that you ask for bad things. Okay? But في صالح دعائك. هل فهمتموني؟
نعم نعم فاهم.
لا تنسنا في صالح دعائك. قولوا
لا تنسانا في صالح دعائك.
في صالح دعائك.
في صالح دعائك.
Now again, I practice these things when I'm learning a language so I don't sound fabricated. Anything you sound fabricated, don't do it. You get my point? It's like doing any type of fighting skills. A lot of guys learn a lot of fighting skills, but they're not going to do that in a real fight, right? Then you see them practicing the kata, he jumps up, he kicks and he runs around. When he gets to the fight, he ain't going to do that. He's going to do something else. So do what you're going to practice, what you're going to be practical in your situation. How do we end a liqah between two people? How do we end it?
Salam.
We say salams. So that's why, we might say dua to someone, la tansana fi salih dua, aywa salamu alaykum. You get my point? So at the end of ours, it don't stop there. Then we go, aywa, mesh, salamu alaykum. Say, aywa,
Aywa.
salamu alaykum.
Salamu alaykum.
Wa alaykum salam. So this is how we're going to aywa, from aywa Allah, or aywa Rabbi. You know what I'm saying? This is like saying, aywa, I won't forget. Yeah, I won't. Aywa.
Aywa.
Salamu alaykum.
Salamu alaykum.
Naam, Sheikh.
In our deen, when we meet, I meet the brothers too, they say Assalamu alaikum. And he says wa alaikum assalam. You may have to be told for a while. In some places they say ma'a salam.
Ma salam, no. I was going to get to that. Ila liqa, they say ila liqa, ma salama, stuff like that. Okay? Let them say that. What are you going to say?
Well, I mean, I return the greetings.
What type of greeting you give? If he says to you, if I say to you, hey, ya Sheikh, salam, salam alaikum. I train myself not to do that. You know what I'm saying? Some people say, fi aman Allah. I say, ameen, wa salamu alaikum. You get my point? لا تنسانا من في صالح الدعاء. فهم؟ أيوة السلام عليكم. You get, that's why I said say أيوة. أيوة آمين. They say اللهم بارك فينا في كل ما يؤذينا في كل عين والشيطان اللهم اشفينا آمين والسلام عليكم. You guys get my point? We are thermometers, we're not what do you call it?
Thermostats. With thermostats.
Thermostats, not thermometers. We set the temperature the way we want it to be. We keep it going. So if someone says, يا لا تنسانا في صالح الدعاء, إن شاء الله يا أخي, يعني أنا أحاول إن شاء الله, والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
وأنت أيضا.
وأنت أيضا. Now we can say that, and وأنت أيضا لا تنساني, يعني في دعائك. يعني الحمد لله بارك الله فيكم والسلام. Sometimes I say بارك الله فيكم, make dua right then and there. اللهم بارك فينا. Because the asl with dua is that you include yourself first. You get my point? And then that comes from the adab where Allah teaches us what? اهدنا صراط المستقيم. هل فهمتموني؟
نعم.
So you can say وأنت كذلك لا تنساني وأنت أيضا. لا تنساني. You say Allahumma barik fina. Fahmt? And then you say wassalamu alaikum. Always end it with salam. صح؟
No.
أيوة إقام الصلاة. time for salah.
Then.
I got a question.